Still early in the morning, but I'm enjoying my time here alone before my papa gets up. And I was looking at some of the notes that I need to get rid of in order to reduce the clutter in my space, which is a really great practice at any time, particularly now, since now is all we really have. And if you take action now, then it's going to be finished. In a future now moment, you can reflect on that which you did instead of that which you can talk about doing, and it'll take a lot of energy in order to plan for. And then by the time we actually get to the doing part, oftentimes we're so spent from the thinking about doing it part that we don't actually get it done. So I wanted to actually say that in this particular piece of paper that I am going to be getting rid of, it actually talks about jurisdiction in a way that I hadn't really broke it down before, because juris is Latin for of right or of law, and then diction is about choice of words and phrases in speech and writing. So I've always said juris is the rules that you're allowed to apply to the words that are used to define and divide those who step into another man's domain, who have forgotten how to actually lay claim to what is real, so then the profane becomes what is revered, and then others will sneer at the veneers that appear in our place. So what is interesting is that within this jurisdiction, I realized for the first time it allows me, just that word itself, to bring in the majority of the teachings that I've been trying to, as to why in November we're going to actually be having a self-image transformation challenge. I'm working out the details right now, and November 10th and 11th in Blackstock, Ontario, at Soul's Path and a private, undisclosed, underground location, we're going to actually be having a mix of private and public events to help inform people of the mixed war that we're in between the public and private, and why our identities are such a significant component of the whole of it. It's why we're actually having an identity quest game created, the experience to be able to see the sacredness of the life that you are living, that I am living, that we together are living, that we remove the third parties from our own lives, and we stop allowing affairs to distract us from what is real and good and noble and true. So without further ado, I'm going to suggest that we need to start talking about energy. We need to figure out the lighting to get it right so that it will work for us, and to see that there is a scared and sacred side of every energetic component or experience of something. If you think about contrast as the way that you gain clarity, that is the equivalent, just with different terminology, to what it means to have constraint and freedom as a functional polarity on a line that is actually functional, for we cannot have freedom without constraint. But what feels very free can be irresponsibility, and then the constraints turn into obligations, because now we're bound by that which often we've already enjoyed the use of and spent and used up and now have to pay for. So it's really important to become a wise investor within our own household, and to see it as an energetic experience and expression of the divinity within us, as well as a literal one. For this 3D space that we live in, the environment of the home zone that we reside within, that we side again with, we have to see the externalized expression of what is internal within the household. If you have a lot of clutter, you probably have a lot of internal clutter too. If you are able to move through clutter in a way you couldn't before, like what I seem to be able to do recently, it's because you've made some internal shifts, and now things in your physical environment are able to move to. So one is a reflection of the other, and it is important for us to get back to the jurisdiction within our own realms. The real magic of the energetic den of you is when you decide to see the land, air, and waters of the world as externalized expressions of that which is within you too. For the laws we must all abide by are divine, for it is from divine that we all find the truth of who and whose we were the whole time, except for when we felt separate, because our words made us feel like we were inside of walls that made us separate from others, when the truth is those walls can become bridges if we will let them fall, without collapsing them on top of others at all, but to choose to use those walls as bridges to reach one another in a way we never did before. So, I look forward to leading you on a journey inward in the month that is coming, and in this one, we're actually going to be having an opportunity to network and do some master minding, where we are able to mind the masters within us so we can pursue self-mastery and be the ones who actually called back more of our soul into wholeness, so that we stopped just seeing ourselves to be the hues of the man I time myself to be. Humanity, you see, is just only the hues of man, but the spectrum is what makes up the whole color scheme and spectrum. So we have to start to see the way that colors interact with the energy within us, and also the sacred and scared expressions of those colors are great ways to see the light and dark from a color spectrum, literally. You can see it on the palette if we add dark or light. Well, one is light and the other is dense. One is light, as in L-I-T-E. The other is dense, heavy, and weighed down, so therefore dark, because it's in the shadows, because it was weighted down. Well, there was an expression in a famous book that said, "Let the dead bury the dead," because the dead do not carry consciousness. We do. Though consciousness is limited and bound by that which has existed previously, for it then has the vibrational memory of it. So, if you would like to change the energetic frequency within the energetic den of you, please know you can be supported through it with a clan from the island we all come from, which is the ultimate planetation. So, my arm was getting tired from holding that camera, so I'm going to move it, just like we're going to do in September. Well, we'll do that then too, but actually in November is what I was meaning to refer to, when we're going to lay out the special practice. Oh, I'm so excited. It's a holistic approach to health on a multi-dimensional level, which is what we are. So, I would love to have you join us. I am so excited for you to have access to Peaceful Inner Warriors United, a channel on YouTube that is going to contain the short and sweet condensed version of the years it took for me to be able to offer these and find the people to share with you too, which is what we'll do as we unite and come together to do what our ancestors fought for us to be able to start off where they left. And that is the gift that our heritage and lineage have given us. So the line of the ages is where we find that time is the ledger. And it's time to balance the books. Leave a comment, like it, and share this with someone you want to come on the journey inward with you for the month of November. I can't wait to share it with you. ljeh.ca is where you can get more details. Have a good one.